Hi everyone, this is Mrs. Bolts, and today we're going to talk about the second part of your performance task, and that is writing a found poem. Now, the idea of a found poem is that poetry is actually all around you and that you need only look for it. So let's go ahead and get started. Found poetry is poetry you create from a previously written text, something that's already been written. You, the poet, get to pick the words from the text to put in your poem. You, the poet, get to decide the line breaks, and it is a chance for you to be creative and free, and the poem is inside the text, in this case your article. You only need to find it. So go ahead and get out the article you read on your societal issue and have that in front of you, because that is where you're going to find your found poem. You're not going to use the poem that you read, but you're going to use the article. So here's an example of a found poem. Here is a page from a chapter book, and what they have done is you can see, they have created the title called The Sea, and then they just circled words as it appeared down the page. And then it became a brand new poem. The Sea. The earth we rise in, the water forming. With every breath we burning, unite and fill the hollows as clouds fill the sky. So that's one way someone could write that. And here's a second way. Notice the line breaks are different and the spacing is different. The sea, the earth we rise in, the water forming, with every breath we burning, unite and fill the hollows as clouds fill the sky. So here in this example, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stanzas with 2 lines each. Here we just have one long stanza. So the breaks can be up to you, the punctuation, capitalization, that's all up to you. Here's another example. Here's a page from a book, and they went through and they go down and create a poem. Look at these things formed by the change of light, color, sound. They are real whether they exist or not. They represent something. Here's another example. Look at these things formed by the change of light, color, sound. They are real whether they exist or not. They represent something. So you can really have fun with this. You can play with which words on the page that you use, but you must start at the top and work your way down. You can't go from the bottom, skip up to the middle, and then the top, back to the middle and down. You have to go in order. You can use different versions of the word. So let's say you circled things, but you want to use thing, that will work. Or look, you could change to looked or looking, but you can't add like the here or of. You need to follow the pattern that is presented to you on the page. Here's one that I wrote. I took the house on Mango Street, which is a text that we read together. I started at the beginning and I circled words that stood out to me and phrases that stood out to me. Notice I did not circle entire lines. The beauty of found poetry is that you only use 3 or 4 words together at a time. Anything more than that, and that's kind of cheating, and we don't want to do that. So let's take a look at the poem I wrote, Growing Up Small. We always remember moving a lot. One more house. We don't have too much, but even so, we had Mama and Papa. We moved far away, always running real big. Growing up small, little, boarded up, robbed, and temporary. What you'll find is that in your article, the words that are in the societal issue article will create a poem for you that aligns with the theme or the message of the article. So for example, House on Mango Street talks about living in poverty in houses that were less than ideal. And here my poem talks about that one more house. You get this feeling that they're moving a lot. We don't have too much, but we did have Mama and Papa. And then I love this picture that I never would have thought of on my own unless I was doing a found poem, running real big. I mean, that is such a cool word picture that I never would have written unless it was a found poem. And growing up small. And that's how she felt in our poem, in our story. She was growing up small, boarded up in those houses. So the theme will naturally arise and will probably parallel or be similar to your article. Here is the rubric. You should get this out. And you want to focus on superb as always. It's a holistic rubric. So you will be getting just a score: superb, got it, almost there, or not yet. And I would like you to just take a few minutes right now and read through what I'm looking for in the rubric. So pause the video and look now. Okay, so you should have read that for superb, the entire poem needs to relate to the topic. So you have to relate it to the societal issue. It needs to use the original text in a sophisticated way for content. There we are. And the style needs to be a consistent tone, and it has to reflect an appropriate attitude towards the subject matter. And it also means you're not copying like more than 3 or 4 words at a time from the text. So it's time for you to roll up your sleeves and look for your found poem. Look in your article from the top down for powerful words. Circle with pencils, jot on a separate sheet of paper, draft, erase, rewrite, erase, play around until you find the poem that is living inside your article. You will make a lot of mistakes and erase. I know I did, but that's the fun of it. Get messy, be creative, and have fun. Good luck.